Welcome to ArchiTrails, a space to slow down and see cities differently. Today, we're visiting one of the most iconic and controversial buildings of the late 20th century. Between the buildings, I saw something that didn't belong there, a curved, metallic shape catching the evening light. It looked soft, almost liquid, like the surface of water frozen in motion. The Guggenheim Bilbao. I've seen many famous buildings, but this one felt different. It wasn't trying to be beautiful, it simply was. It reflected everything around it, the light, the sky, even the city itself. And somehow, it made all of it look better. Standing there, I felt that this building wasn't just a place for art. It was a statement about what architecture can do, how it can change how we see, how we feel, and maybe even how a city believes in itself again. When the Guggenheim Museum Bilbao opened in 1997, it completely changed how people thought about architecture and about this city. Before that, Bilbao was an industrial center in decline. Factories were closing, unemployment was high, and the river area was little more than a forgotten dockyard. The local government decided to try something radical. They partnered with the Solomon R. Guggenheim Foundation and invited Frank Gehry, a Canadian-American architect known for his experimental, sculptural buildings. The goal wasn't just to build a museum, it was to rebuild the city's identity. Construction started in 1993 on the site of the old port. Gehry designed a structure unlike anything seen before, a composition of curves, volumes, and reflections that seemed to defy logic. He used titanium, glass, and limestone, materials that together created a strange balance of softness and strength. The titanium panels were especially bold, thin, flexible, and slightly rough, so they catch the light differently every hour. There are 42,875 of them, and none are identical. Each one was modeled digitally using CATIA, a program originally developed for the aerospace industry. This was one of the first buildings in the world fully shaped with the help of 3D software. From an architectural point of view, it was a turning point, not only for design, but for the idea of what a museum could be. The building didn't just hold art, it became part of the art. Visitors no longer came just to see exhibitions. They came to experience the space itself. But the most remarkable story is what happened next. In the first year, more than 1.3 million visitors came to Bilbao, a city with fewer than 400,000 residents. Hotels filled, new businesses opened, and the local economy began to recover. Tourism revenue in the first 3 years exceeded the total cost of building the museum. This success became known as the Bilbao Effect. The term describes how one bold architectural project can transform not only a city's skyline, but also its economy and reputation. Urban planners around the world started studying Bilbao as proof that culture can be a driver of development. Still, it wasn't just about money or tourism. The museum gave Bilbao something less tangible, a sense of pride, of creativity, of confidence. It reminded people that a city doesn't have to be big to be significant. It just has to believe in its own potential. If you visit, walk around the building slowly. The best light is in the late afternoon, when the titanium surface shifts from silver to gold. Each angle tells a different story, from the bridge, the riverbank, or the small park behind the museum. It's one of those places where architecture stops being background and becomes the main character. I stayed near the museum until the evening, And that's when I really saw how the building changes. The titanium surface started to reflect the warm light of the sunset. Every few minutes, it looked different, and more like a living structure that reacts to time, weather, and people. As an architect, I kept thinking about how rare that is, to design something that can hold attention without movement, without words. It's not about decoration or form. It's about creating an emotional reaction. Gehry once said that architecture should make you feel something, even if you can't explain what it is. And this building does exactly that. You don't need to understand the structure to connect with it. The reflections, the scale, the rhythm of the panels, they all speak in a universal language. Watching the light fade, I realized that this place is more than an example of great design. It's a reminder of what happens when imagination meets engineering. It's a result of someone daring to think differently, and a city willing to believe in that idea. When I finally walked away from the museum, the city felt different. The same streets, the same river, but somehow everything looked more alive. That's what good architecture does. It changes not only the space, but the way people see it. It reminds you that cities are living systems. They can grow, adapt, and find new meaning when we dare to imagine differently. The Guggenheim Bilbao became more than a museum. It became proof that creativity is not just about aesthetics. It's a form of progress. This building didn't simply decorate the city, it helped rebuild it. And that's why I find this place inspiring. It shows how one idea, transformed into space and form, can shift the direction of a whole community. Maybe that's what architecture is really about. Not perfection, not style, but the ability to give people a new way to see their own world. This channel is about slowing down and looking a bit deeper into the moment. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe for more.
Se llama la caja del...